Here we can see some additional information about the ATC system, automatic traction control, developed by Volvo for the articulated haulers. The articulated hauler follows a daily work cycle, which is represented in the left view. The cycle includes 2 turns, with the first turn located in the upper part of the left view and the second turn located in the lower part. At the exit of the first turn, there is a climbing ramp followed by a descent and 2 reverse zones. The first reverse zone is in the descent zone and is on its way to the loading site. The second reverse zone is located after the second turn, in order to reach the dumping surface. On the right-hand side, you can observe the driveline of the machine. It's important to note that the Volvo articulated hauler is a 6-4 machine, meaning that 4 out of the 6 wheels are involved in transmitting power to the ground. These wheels include the front axle and intermediate axle wheels, while the third axle is typically free. You can see transverse differential locks on the front, intermediate, and rear axles. Additionally, there are 2 locks that ATC, automatic traction control, will control, the longitudinal differential lock and the third axle connection, 6-wheel drive. Now, let's look at what happens when the machine goes through a cycle. Currently, the machine is situated on a light gray floor that provides excellent adhesion. The machine operates on a 6-4 rhythm. The machine begins to run, and at the beginning of its cycle, it is quickly positioned in an area where the right front wheel begins to slip. As a result, the speed of the front axle is higher than that of the intermediate axle, which is equal to the speed of the third axle. The electronics immediately interpret the slipping and engage the longitudinal differential lock. Thanks to this, the speed of the front axle is forced to become equal to that of the intermediate axle. If the grip does not return immediately, the wheels resume a correct speed relative to the ground. This reduces wear and allows to regain grip as soon as possible. The machine continues its cycle. Its longitudinal differential lock is engaged, and it leaves the first slipping zone, eases into an adherent zone, but quickly finds a slipping zone again. This time, it is the right front wheel and the right intermediate wheels that slip. The electronics observes that the speeds of the front axle and the intermediate axle are equal, but higher than that of the third axle. The third axle has no reason to slip. The electronics interpret the current slip on the front and intermediate axles and correct by engaging the 6-wheel drive. This 6-wheel drive, coupled with the engagement of the longitudinal differential lock, is a powerful solution to regain excellent grip to overcome many obstacles and satisfy almost all difficulties. The machine continues its way out of this low grip zone for a better grip area. It will release the engaged locks as soon as possible to reduce fuel consumption. To accomplish this, after a delay determined by the electronics on a study of some cycles, the machine tries to release its dog clutches simultaneously. Following their release, the machine regains good grip and does not control re-engagement. Now the machine is inside a wide curve, the wheels do not use the same tracks and the 3 measured speeds on the 3 axles are different. The electronics consider the information of the angulation sensor mounted on the steering system. Compared to the value provided, the 3 different speeds are compatible with good grip for the measured angle. The turn is therefore made without engagement of the differential locks. The machine now arrives on a rising ramp. The torque provided by the engine becomes important. This torque is a criterion for the engagement of the longitudinal differential lock and the 6-wheel drive. In this case, the ATC system does not wait for slipping, but prevents it. Another criterion that allows the engagement of these dog clutches is the information provided by the longitudinal inclinometer. A strong ramp is detected and the 2 dog clutches remain engaged. Arriving at the top of the ramp, the machine will release the 2 dog clutches engaged for the crossing. Now, it's on a downward slope and will pick up speed. Due to the activation of the retarder function, an engagement of the longitudinal differential lock and the 6-wheel drive will occur. The objective of this configuration is to avoid that the slowing effort is concentrated on a single wheel and to allow a good efficiency of the retarder function. Now the machine starts to reverse in second reverse speed. To ensure good traction on the ground, the 6-wheel drive engages, with the first axle in the direction of the machine serving as the drive axle during starting. If the machine is able to switch to third gear in reverse, it does so once it has gained sufficient speed and inertia. This gear transmits less torque, and as a result, the six-wheel drive is disengaged. The machine is then loaded, and it starts again in the same descent as before, thus gaining speed. The operator uses the service brake to slow down the machine. When the speed is sufficiently reduced, the machine engages the longitudinal differential lock and the six-wheel drive to regain traction. After stopping the braking, after a delay, the two blockages are released. Subsequently, the machine approaches a curve where there is very little grip and the wheels spin. The speed on the three axles and the angulation information are analyzed by the electronics, and the loss of grip situation is identified. Also, the lock of the longitudinal differential and the six-wheel drive are engaged to allow the machine to cross this sector in efficient conditions. At the exit of this zone, the blockages are released after a delay. Now the machine is in an area of extreme difficulty with a fording, and the operator uses the panic button located on the cabin floor. As a result, all locks engage, transverse locks, longitudinal differential lock and six-wheel drive are simultaneously activated. This allows to obtain the maximum crossing capacity of the machine facing this difficulty. Now the machine is reversing. As before, the machine starts in second gear with the six-wheel drive engaged. This lock is released in the event of the third reverse speed.